Hey, look at that, we're live! Just like that. It's 9 o'clock on the East Coast on Thursday. That means it's time for This Week at Gear-Report, the show where we talk about... I see you there chuckling. We're going to get to you in a second, Vince. It's okay to laugh. Yeah, I laugh at myself sometimes. So this is a show where typically we're going to talk about everything that's been published since the last show. and so this is what we deal with here. That is, oh, you can't read it. That is the tactical leprechaun, Clovertech. Clovertech is trying to get in. I'm going to have to send him a link so he can get in. Ghost has already tried to get in. He has failed. This has been the evening of tech difficulties, and it's also, this may be a first. Caleb, have you ever joined the show before?
No, the wife's not here to fuss at me about talking about guns, so freed up a little opportunity now to put the little one to bed. So,
yeah, this is a big evening for us. Caleb, the hunting editor at Gear Report, lives in a place where internet connectivity doesn't normally cooperate, or at least that's what he tells us. Now I'm getting the feeling...
It's true. I'm using data right now.
Oh, okay. Oh, look at that. Adrian's here as well. Go check out the channel called Review This Thing. It's in her little title down here. Cool content creator that we met at The Gathering, the firearms industry event hosted by Palmetto State Armory. That was a weekend or two ago. Did you meet Adrian there, Caleb? I don't know if you were around when she came through.
I don't think so. I think, I kind of got there at the tail end of stuff on Friday, and then
oh, that's right.
Yeah. So I don't believe so.
Okay. What is this and where am I? Bro, I don't even know. We never know where you are, Snub. So we're happy to see you, even though you don't know where you are. And I am trying to figure out where I get the link to send to Clover. So while we're doing this, you know what? I was going to make the introduction, but there it is. But we're going to give it a minute or two for some more notifications to get found and for folks to show up. Before we introduce our guest, who, with any luck, is over that way, if I'm pointing the right way on a different screen. All right, Clovertech has a link inbound, so we may see him join the program here shortly. And let's see here. Oh, what do we got here? Oh, and there's another one. That says Troy. I'm going to assume that's a friend of Vince.
That's
so,
correct.
All right. Well, then why don't we introduce Vince, since we're bringing Vince's crew in on the program. We should probably introduce Vince now. All right. So welcome. Please offer a warm welcome to the program to Vince Romano. He's over there, folks. He has the big FU on his shirt. I'm going to let him explain to you why he has that, why it may not mean what you think it means, or it may. I don't know. So welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me on. Pleasure to be here, and glad I didn't have the technical difficulties.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, they're going around today.
So, Fox unit FU. It's because we're smart as a fox, not because we're trying to send a message to anyone. Don't get that idea. So, what it started out as this invention that I have here was to be able to get the AR platform into restricted areas: California, Connecticut, New York, Massachusetts, Canada, Chicago, Cook County. So I came up with a non-semi-automatic, a spring-assisted bolt gun that works with pretty much all the AR parts. So it's my proprietary lower with about 5 other proprietary parts besides lower, but everything else is standard AR. I wanted commonality of product. So you can use your own trigger, your own pins, your own grip, your own upper, stocks, whatever. So basically you could take your upper of your AR-15 that's semi-automatic. If you're traveling to California or restricted state on vacation or work, you could take your upper, you could slap it onto our lower, and now you're in compliance because it's non-semi-automatic. So it's basically a spring-assisted bolt gun. I don't know how many of your viewers have looked at our videos or our product or at SHOT Show. But basically what it does is it bolt locks every time. So every shot, the bolt, pull the trigger, you fire the round, ejects the round, bolt holds back, you cannot fire another round, trigger won't pull until you hit the bolt release again. You can either use the paddle on the side, or we had a bad lever installed, and we have a couple other ways of releasing the bolt catch. And now it'll reload the next round. You'll be able to fire. And it started out as the FU to the gun banner's Fox unit, and it turned into actually a couple other things. We had some instructors come up to us, NRA instructors, Boy Scouts of America, real interested. So you can have junior walking around. You could give them your upper, it's all sighted in. You can take them target shooting, and now you don't have to worry about a young kid walking around with a semi-auto. He has that extra step. He has to do the deliberate second step to get that gun to fire. I used to train special operation forces, and had a bunch of our guys test it out, give me feedback. And one guy calls me up. He's like, "Brother, I love this thing." I'm like, "Yeah, it's pretty cool, huh?" He goes, No, for long range shooting. I'm like, "What are you talking about? I didn't invent it for this, but it turned into it." The gun's half impulse, so the bolt holds back every shot. You don't have that bolt slamming forward while you're making impact. So he goes, "Now I can track my own shot, see where my impact is. My bolt's back, barrel's cooling automatically. I could single load a round, or I could drop on the next round in the magazine, make the follow-up shot." Some hunters are interested in it too, because if you take your shot on an animal, that bolt holds back. You could track that animal, drop the bolt as you're going, see if you need to make a follow-up shot or not. So it just gives you a little bit more of an advantage of not having that bolt slamming forward as that bullet's making impact. And also an ADA device. Guy came up to me, he goes, "You realize you have an ADA device?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Single-headed operation of a bolt gun. You have a spring-assisted bolt gun." So
Sure.
Started out as one thing, turned into 3 or 4. And so this is one of the things we've had this year that's taken off for us. And it's been a overwhelming response at SHOT Show and everything. So that's about the story of it. And if you guys have any questions or...
Okay, well, everyone, thank you for coming. It was a great show. We really appreciate that. I think we're going to have to dig a little bit deeper here. That was a pretty good synopsis, and I just pasted a link out in the comments. So if you'd like to see the video that we shot at SHOT Show, you can go watch it and see a little bit of the platform manipulation that you didn't see in this. We're actively trying to avoid any drama with YouTube and any of the pro-censorship platforms that don't like to see people handle firearms. So, but you can go check that out on the link. We're going to watch a little bit of that later. And if Clover, if you can figure out what the timestamp is in your range day video, maybe we can see it in action. I skimmed real quick and couldn't find it.
I can't do that. It's toward the end, I can tell you that. It's before the shotgun stuff and
Gotcha.
after the hand. I think it's after, maybe after the Umarex.
Okay, good. So let's see, what else do we see here in the comments?
Yeah, I'm on mobile.
Adrian was only there Thursday. Okay, that explains it. Caleb didn't get to the gathering until the next day on Friday. So that makes sense. Welcome. I don't think we have seen Helen on the show before, so we appreciate you being here. Let's see, a reminder to all the folks out there watching, this is a participatory program. What that means is we're looking for you to help us with what questions do you have. Help determine where this show goes by leaving some comments, interact with the guest, ask Vince some questions, ask Troy some questions, if we can find him. He's looking a little hidden at the moment. But anyhow, thanks everyone for being here. We're going to see what questions we can come up with. I thought that was a neat description of, I'm going to call it some legislation, some rules, prompting you to get creative and come up with a way to, I don't know if work around the rules is really correct, but still use the platform, the most of the platform that's out there, substitute a couple parts, and then enable people to legally use some parts I already had with the addition of your lower. Is that kind of along the lines? Am I interpreting correctly? That was where it came from initially.
Yeah, I didn't want to start having proprietary parts where everybody's got to buy some new system. Basically, you're just buying the lower. We could do complete rifles, but with the way the market is, that's a little harder. But yeah, I didn't want to invent the wheel on all new barrels, all new handguards, everything else. It's already out there. We don't need it. So, and I want it to be a system that everybody's familiar with. And then you can bring up your kids on it. You can have the parts wherever you need them, because since the serialized part, the firearm is the lower, that's really all you need.
Yeah.
Let's be clear, right? I mean, this thing is not circumventing any rules or getting around anything. It's working well within the existing legislation and definitions and guidelines. So it's not like they're taking advantage of a loophole or anything.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
at the same time, I'm going to let you talk in a second, Vince. I want to throw out my interpretation, and then you tell me if I'm on the right track here, please. It seems to me that there are some localities that have made a typical semi-auto illegal. So only by substituting some parts so that it functions differently are we able to make those legal and usable. I mean, does that sound right?
Kinda. So some people tried putting parts into an AR-15, but that's still an AR-15. It's still a semi-automatic receiver. Where my receiver is different is it is not an AR-15 receiver. The internals are different. So it's not a mil-spec, even though an AR-15 isn't military. It's not a mil-spec receiver, for lack of a better word. It's a whole new receiver. So it's not a part added on, an accessory. It is actually a new receiver. It's a new firearm.
Got it.
And a new classification. We called it non-semi-automatic, for lack of a better term.
Sure.
Spring-assisted bolt gun's probably the more technical term for it, but so that's
one of the ones I had seen was like there's a special charging handle that goes on top of, I believe, a special bolt carrier group that basically doesn't have a gas key. And so you would shoot, but you racked it every time. So like it didn't come back to a bolt lock. And I forget the name of it. It escapes me at the moment. But essentially, like you said, you're still taking an AR-15 lower, AR-15 upper, and essentially swapping out just some of the internals. It wasn't true. It still would, in the eyes of certain people, it would meet the definition of an AR-15 just because you're simply racking the charging handle as compared to dropping the bolt release or whatever. They
basically just changed the upper. The lower still an AR-15 lower, and they're just turned off, no gas system, like you said. And
correct.
You have to run. And the big advantage of our system is you can work this with your trigger finger, so you can keep your grip on the weapon, your cheek weld on. You don't have to come up to charge the weapon. Keep your sights on target, follow the animal, follow your target, operate the gun, operate the spring-assisted feature. So a good tactical advantage. I want something, like I said, I used to train soft teams. I want something you could trust your life to. Like if I had to use this in self-defense or I had to use it for anything, I'm like, okay, I could run this weapon well enough versus having a bolt gun where I got to take my hand off and might as well run a Mauser at that point. But this thing's, if you watch the videos and everything, you'll see it's kind of hard people. I try to show them the videos, and they're like, yeah. And then like SHOT Show at range day, everybody that shot it was like, oh my God, the light bulb goes off. They get it. So that was a good show for us having there. If everybody gets to look at the reviews or watch the Fox Unit video you guys posted or whatever.
Yeah, so I think that you did the right thing having it there, but then you couldn't overcome the stupidity of some of the people who saw non-semi-auto and were like, "Oh, well, this is going to be stupid," and didn't look at it. And I'm gonna point the finger at myself because when we saw it, who was it? Deb brought us to talk to you after the media breakfast at SHOT Show and said, "Oh, you got to see this. This is awesome." And I was like, "Oh no, we saw them at range day." And I was like, "Yeah, no, that doesn't sound interesting," because honestly, I misinterpreted. I saw non-semi-auto and I went into, oh, it's just something to get around stupid California laws. And this on me, I think that what you described sounds like it could be useful in a variety of ways, and I didn't give it a chance. So,
I'm right there with you, Jeff. I walked by it at range day the first time. They had the sign out in front of the bay there, kind of along the walkway, and I read the sign as I was passing it and didn't give it really a second thought. And I went down and checked out a couple of other bays, a couple of other companies, and walking back, of course, the sign was there again, and it was a good idea having that sign out there, by the way, because had I not seen that sign again, I seen it again, and the second time the wheels started turning enough to make me interested to walk into the bay, walk into the booth, and I'm like, oh, okay, so what's up? Now, what I found interesting with it is I've got an H&R Sahara, which is a little 22 that works really similar. It's a single shot, and you put the round in, you push the bolt forward, you fire it, and when it fires, it kicks the shell out and locks the bolt back. You just lay another round in there and push the bolt forward. So it's a very similar design, with the exception of they've got it, the spring process where you trip the bolt catch, right, basically, and cause it to drop. So you can do all that manipulation easier with one hand, let's say, which I thought was cool. The other thing that was funny, we're talking with it, and I don't remember the guys in the booth, unfortunately, and I'm on mobile. I can't see any of the guys here, but I said, so you created this by basically breaking an AR-15. And they were like, yeah, sort of. And I'm like, who would have ever thought, right? It's like we create the next greatest thing by breaking something that currently exists. It's like, that's kind of neat.
So I was the guy that walked by it also, and is actually Clover. We were eating lunch, a late lunch at range day, and he's like, hey, did you go check out the non-semi-auto AR? I'm like, what? He's like, it's down there and all that. And he said, I shot it. And he's like, it's pretty cool. So I walked down there, and I'll tell you what, I'm not the most coordinated, nor am I the most intelligent person in the world, but you figure it out pretty quickly. You can going into a pretty good rhythm to where, I mean, you can get going pretty fast. And I was like, oh, snap. Okay. And I was kind of the same way. Like, so you broke it down. I said, so the innovation that we're looking for in this industry is breaking the old innovation. I love it. I love it. Well done. Well done.
Nice. Yeah, we like to say it's a 3-shot learning curve for people that try it out. It's like, yeah, it takes 2 shots, and then like by the 3rd shot, everybody's got nailed down, and they're running it fine.
Absolutely.
All right. Anyone who has questions, feel free to post them in the comments, and we'll get to those. I want to pause since we've had some more people show up, and we didn't actually make it all the way around with introductions. We got to Vince. We talked to Caleb. We've not talked to Troy. Clover Tech has talked. Let's get introductions out of the way. We'll do Troy, Clover, Ghost. Alan with Quarter Horse Arms is here as well. So let's go in that order. Everyone do your quick introduction, and then we'll get back to the regularly scheduled programming.
I guess I'll go first. Evening, everyone. I'm Alan Friedman, and I'm with Quarter Horse Arms, but I'm also one of the writers for Gear Report.
Okay, and I think we just lost Caleb. It looks like the screen reshuffled. So I guess we'll go backwards. Ghost, if you want to say hi real quick.
I'm Trey with Ghost Tactical. I also do some writing for Gear Report. I am the token crayon eater of the group. So there you go.
Yeah, pretty much. I think that covered it. Clover?
Yeah, Chris with Clover Tech. I think at this point I'm kind of retired from writing for Gear Report because unfortunately I haven't done anything in so long. And I believe I'm resident King Thud, if I'm not mistaken. So there you go.
That is across the internet. That's not just a Gear Report, I think. But that said, we will still welcome you back should you care to do any content creation here at Gear Report. Mainly so we don't get sued for discrimination, but we'll have you back.
We're equal leprechaun opportunities here.
There we go.
I see putting my lawyer in touch has drastically changed your attitude. So I'm glad to hear that.
Yes, it has. I feel like there's got to be a pot of gold at the end of this relationship. Yeah. So, Troy, do you want to let us know who you are and what new and exciting things you're bringing to the program?
Hey guys, I'm just kind of the bogey here. I'm a friend of Vince's and have used this device and was kind of logging in to check it out. So call me a equipment breaker guy.
Okay. Well, happy to have you here. And so you have you've attempted to break this?
Well, I break M4s and Vince fixes them for me. So
yeah. All right.
How do you apply for that job? I want to be the resident breaker person for a lot of companies. How do you do that?
Yeah, I think you already have that role for a lot of companies.
No, that would be Toby. That would be Toby.
Yeah. Yeah, because the inside joke there is that the gathering, Toby was going around all the booths on the range for all the different companies and disassembling their guns right in front of him in light speed. And occasionally he would take it apart and put it down and put it back together. And yes, I'm moving that fast on purpose and everything would be fine. Every now and then he'd put it back together like something didn't work right, or at some point in the process, a spring would take off. And yeah, so he's
it was thoroughly entertaining to be standing there talking to a sales rep with his back to Toby and watching the parts go flying.
Yeah. So keep that in mind, Vince. If you ever set up and you see a guy with a name badge that says Toby and Gear Report, just kind of casually but quickly and firmly withdraw anything from his circle of influence, and you should be good.
Are you going to be at the
I would
NRA
also say
show?
take his leather man away.
Yeah, show of hands from the folks here. Clover, you can speak up if you like. Who's going to NRA? I don't know.
I wish I could. It's a Memorial Day weekend, so that's kind of a bad weekend for work. So
yes, I will be there. Yes,
you will. TJ, I think TJ, our director of snacks and beverages, is. I think
he told me he was. Yeah.
I think he's in an adult kickball game or something like that. And he'll be here when that game's over. But last I heard, he was talking about going to NRA.
Yeah, he told me the same thing.
And I don't know, it's possible. I've been invited to go cover, because Gear Report covers a whole lot of different subject areas. I've been invited to cover the Prindle Cat Nationals, which is off the coast near Houston, a couple days after NRA. So I may go do some sailing, racing video and stuff right after it. So I can justify a trip for two events a lot easier than for one event. So we shall see.
That sounds kind of highfalutin over there. I'll be taking a sail around the bay.
Dude, I've got to
boat.
If things get calm at some point when we get to the shit shooting portion of the show, I'll see if I can bring up some pictures of the boat that we went out on this weekend. I took my scouts down to the coast of North Carolina, and we went out on a 38-foot. It's a Seawind 1160, if you want to look that up. It's a catamaran sailing yacht, and it was the fanciest boat I've ever been on in my life. It was really, really, all right, Honcho, I hear you. It was a really neat experience, and it was very, it was outside of my normal pay grade, definitely, but it was fun. So we do a little bit of everything here, Vince. We're not just a one-trick pony in the firearm space. We do all kind of fun stuff. Well, some of us are, but some of us do other
I'm
things.
a one-trick pony, but I do that trick really well.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm dying to know. I heard the high level explanation of why you came up with this idea, but I feel like there's got to be a story here. Like something must have happened that was the tipping point or the trigger. Like what made you finally say, you know what, I am going to solve this problem? Was there a single thing or maybe an accumulation of things? What pushed you to say, yeah, I'm going to fix this?
I'm always thinking and tinkering, and I ran for state rep back in 2012 here in Chicago, and now I'm actually running again this year. So you guys want to support new politician in Illinois? Well, not a politician, a statesman. We hate politicians. I had an invention of a bulletproof holster. I got a couple patents on that, which will capture a round in the holster if you have a negligent discharge, whether it be a twig, something else getting caught in there. So it'll capture the round in the holster so you're not hurt, the perp's not hurt, the old lady doesn't get splattered, all that good stuff. So I was going around SHOT Show and I see all the California compliance section. And I always like, all right, I see what you did there. And everybody's kind of coming up with their way to defeat the mousetrap and do everything. So I'm like, all right, I got a way I could do this. And I thought about it. I tried doing the holster first and then had been developing in the back of my mind how to do the Fox unit design, the non-semiautomatic design. And so I was like, all right, how can we get started out literally as an FU? Like, how could I say, all right, you made the rules. We'll play by them. And just kind of said, okay, what can I come up with that works and can make it the most widely accessible thing that we could get out there. So that's why I wanted to keep commonality of parts and all that other stuff, because I mean, ARs are the tinker toy of the rifle world. So I mean, I just got to get somebody one of my lowers and they could either have all the parts already or just go out and buy them. So that was the thing behind it. Like literally just saying, okay, how can we get around that?
Now, you may have explained this earlier when I wasn't in here, but I've got a follow-up. I want to ask a question and I've got a follow-up. So because it is non-semi-auto, we know the stupidity of the AWBs is that it's all related to features, simply to cosmetics and the way something looks for the most part. So because yours is non-semi-auto, does it fall under any of those cosmetic style restrictions as far as forward grips, pistol grips?
Yeah, that's an interesting question.
Good question, but they're all written for semi-automatics.
Gotcha.
With those features.
Right. So it was that part of my follow-up to that. Was that part of the motivation when you seen some of the silly, goofy looking stuff that's California compliant?
Yeah, it's like, all right, you can have these. I mean, they work.
There's some lame looking ARs, man.
Yeah, well, the other thing is the magazine lock now. You don't have to have the mag. You could change your magazines now because it's not semi-automatic. Those are written for semi-automatics. So they got those stripper clips that go in the side of an AR. You can put 10 rounds in, stuff like that, and you can feel like you're in the Civil War or World War One. They're kind of cool. I mean, I get it. I like the idea. I love how they executed it and everything. But it's like, okay, what can we say to say, all right, what's the end game here? How far can we go? There's a bunch of things that you could do or to get around stuff. But it's like, all right, what can we do that's the simplest and most effective and user-friendly? As far as shooting it, like people do that side action bolt charge where you have to take your cheek weld off, take your hand off the weapon. It's like, does it work? But I think mine's a little bit better than that. Maybe I'm biased, but I think you can have an advantage keeping your hands on the weapon, keeping your sights on the target, being able to track everything. So like I said, and it broke into 3-4 things with the instructors wanting it for new shooters and the long range shooters and hunters liking it and the ADA device. So yeah, hopefully that answered your question and the follow-up. But
okay, so I think we located the video here. Of course, it's going to put an ad up on the screen. Is that showing there? Is this streaming correctly? Okay,
Yeah, I
we
just
just got
saw.
to get past the ad. Okay. All right. So I
Thank
didn't
you for
get
the
any
ad revenue,
range
Jeff.
footage.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, anything to help. As long as it doesn't disrupt this broadcast. So here we go. The tactical leprechaun getting tactical with the Fox unit there at range day, and that was quick. We'll have to go back and look at it. I'm gonna
Yeah,
have to
not
have a
much.
talk with your camera operator about getting on the side where we can see how things are operating.
I understand that. There's a picture of it at least when it first starts.
Yep.
Which is
There we
fine.
go.
More importantly, he put the logo right on top of a camouflaged jacket that he's wearing, so we can't even see the logo. I mean,
so basically, what we're saying is thanks for coming on the show, right?
right.
Yeah. So, so the other thing, I think I already shared this link. That was obviously Clover Tech's video. I think I shared the link for that already. If not, I'll do that later. And we've also got that was at range day, and then a couple days later, so that would have been what, Monday. So then Wednesday morning, we caught up with Vince in the booth there at SHOT Show on the show floor. So not on the range, but in the convention center, and we've got the video there where you can see a little bit more of. Really, I think it was the same kind of minute or two discussion of how it works that we got at the very beginning of this program. But if you want to actually see some of the operation, I think we may have had a little bit of that in that video. And it doesn't seem to want to run smoothly here for me. So I think I'm gonna abandon the attempt to stream that video because a little PC here that I'm trying to use isn't really cooperating with that. Okay, everyone's back. So, yeah, questions from Alan. You haven't said much. What are your thoughts on this so far?
I'm enjoying the quiet. So, frankly, coming into halfway through the discussion, not sure I want to voice an opinion just yet.
Okay, but so I don't know if you heard, we had a couple confessions early on about
I
forming
didn't
some
do it.
hasty
I swear I
opinions,
didn't do it.
forming some hasty opinions about this product before we really gave it a chance. So if that's kind of the direction you were going, you're in. I'm not going to say you're in good company, but you're in company at least.
Yeah, it's
So
understandable.
what have you run into, Vince, in terms of the reception? Have you had many people who push back and don't give you a chance versus people who get into it a little bit and then, do you see light bulbs coming on? Do you see people saying, yeah, I think I have a role for this? I mean, where have the big challenges been to adapting what people look at and they think they recognize to something that doesn't work the way they're used to it working?
The big thing is like what you guys said. You're like, non-semi-automatic. They walk right by it. They don't want to listen to it or hear about it. It's the next new gimmick. But like I said, once they fire it, they're like, oh my God, okay, I get it. The light bulb goes off. Like one of the first things I did was a multi-gun shoot out in Wyoming, Casper, Wyoming. I got a bunch of friends out there. I used to train and stuff. And so I'm telling everybody in Wyoming, which is super free state, they're like, why the hell would I need one of these? Like, they're just looking at me. And so they'd shoot it. They'd have to shoot my rifle 100 yards offhand for 4 shots, then run pistol, then run their own rifle at the end of the stage, whatever. And then afterwards, as they're like coming back, they kind of like walk over. They'd be like, yeah, I want one of those for one of my kids. Or like, okay, I could see the use for it. At first I thought it was totally stupid, but now I get it. And as far as the reception after shot or people just looking at it online, I mean, it's been over. I couldn't believe how well it got received. I didn't know, like,
right,
either it's going to take off or everybody's going to poo-poo it and stuff. But I mean, I like literally our website, people were signing up. I got like, as I'm driving home from Vegas, I was just like, I couldn't keep up like with the email. I got thousands of emails saying, hey, I want one of these. And what was amazing was it wasn't just California or New York or Connecticut. I got people from Florida, Texas saying, hey, I want one of these for a 6.5 Creedmoor build, or I want one of these for my kid. So it wasn't just a free state thing. So it actually turned out pretty good. But yeah, of course, you get like out of every 100, you get one that says, oh, you're the stupidest thing ever. And am I going to sit there and argue with them? It's like, it's your life. It's your gunfight. It's your gun. Do whatever you want. Like,
Yeah.
So, I mean, it will fit for everybody. No, I mean, no product does. I know that. I mean, but I have to, be thankful for the great reception that we've got. And a lot of big companies were interested in it at SHOT and stuff. So we'll see if any of that pans out soon. And trying to find a manufacturer. We had one manufacturer fall out on us. So we wanted to get a Q2 thing going because everybody's clamoring for these things. So hopefully have 2 more. If you know any manufacturers out there who want to work with us, hopefully we have 2 more coming up with a good price and quality. One guy was charging too much, and the other guy just wasn't make the quality we want. I don't want to put something out there that's not a quality piece. So
Sure.
So
2 questions on the manufacturing side. Would you be willing to co-brand?
Like license out, like let somebody. Yeah, I'm sure.
Or even like or just co-brand it, like the FU blah blah by XYZ company or something like that. Maybe it would you might be able to find some more companies that would be willing to do that with a co-branding or something like that. But yeah, I don't know. More importantly for me, I can only speak for myself, and we were talking about trying to get people to get that aha moment. For me, had Clover not mentioned it, and had I not gone down there and shoot, even after Clover said, I was like, yeah, what do I want to do anything with the broken AR? It was basically in your mind. And then you go down there and shoot it, and you're like, okay, once you get that rhythm, it's just like anything else. And I think that's a cool thing, especially for the non-free states. But I think it's one of those products, and we all see these a lot, but it's one of those products where you look at it, you read it, you even hold it, and it doesn't make sense until you actually use it. And you're like, okay, he's not really trying to reinvent the wheel. He's just redesigning the wheel,
Yeah.
I would also jump in when you're talking about, the ability to get the word out and some things like that. I would mention some of the events, SHOT Show, NRA, those are great. Predominantly really like YouTube video centric, heavy, tactical, heavy, no offense, Ghost, events. And I see this product crossing all genres and barriers, right? And you got to realize that the hunting crowd, competition crowd, that's totally different than the roll over the hood of a car, drive tanks, type person on the weekend, right? And with that in mind, there are certain events like the Shooting Sports Showcase, which we came back from a couple weeks back, that's really heavy on the outdoors rider competition sector. So being able to get in front of those folks, I think could bode well for getting this product in front of people that might not otherwise know about it because it looks too tactical. If they see a picture of it, right, they're thinking, oh, your regular AR-15. Whereas if they knew it was a non-semi-automatic, it was an assisted bolt, then that might change their opinion.
Yeah, no, definitely. And that's one of the problems we ran into. Everybody looks at it like, oh, it's an AR with something in it. I'm like, no, it's not an AR-15. So what I've actually done is redesigned the outside of it, kind of gave it a, I want to say like a 50s Art Deco look, so it doesn't look so tactical, but it's still a good looking receiver. So that's one of the things I'm working on right now that kind of held up production. I could have just got a whole bunch of 80 lowers or something like that, or had AR made with just my changes to it, but I'm actually want to change the outside of it to give it a unique flavor so everybody just doesn't look at it and say, hey, it's an AR-15.
I'm going to
but very, very good point. Very astute.
Sorry about that. I was going to piggyback on Ghost, in terms of not necessarily co-branding, but I've dealt with a couple of places that, are basically distributors like Xander's or ATI or something like that, where it's yours coming through their distributorship, and that might get a wider audience.
Yeah, that's kind of the way I'd want to go, is just go to distributors and let them sell the dealers or individuals, or the distributors wouldn't sell the individuals. They'd sell the dealers and dealers to the individuals. Because I'm basically a one-man shop with getting some help here and there. So I don't have time to sit there and sell to everybody and do the shipping and all that. I'm trying to get a variance made versus me actually manufacturing myself and doing all that.
Sure.
And then get that handed out and just let other people make some profit on it and distribute and get out to the people. But Xander's, I met with the Rainier Arms CEO 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. So now I'm just trying to get the production up and everything. And it was really bad timing with, I tried to get this all going for the election. And I'm like, oh, they're going to talk about gun bans. Like, this will be great. Well, then COVID hit and all the riots hit and everybody and their mother's buying guns. I'm like, son of a.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to be, I'll be ready talking about gun bans. Like in Chicago, like every liberal bought a gun here. It was like, oh, great. They're not going to be talking about gun bans now. And the market took off and no manufacturer would talk to me. They're like, what? You got a new design? Like, we got our molds. We're making everything. Talk to us in a year. And the price shot up and everything. So I went to Canada. Canada wouldn't let me in. That's a whole comedy story in itself. Going to the border there. And like Canadians are supposed to be nice. I think they found like every dick in fourth grade and said, hey, Johnny, come with us. We got a program for you. We'll put you at the border.
Did you bring beer? They would have let you in for beer.
Yeah.
They enjoy their beer up there.
You should have taken TJ with you. He could have organized the event.
Oh, I'd have got him going. No problem there.
So I tried to get it going up there, and I had to hire somebody, and then the people we were working with there just kind of all fell apart. But at SHOT Show at Range Day, the firearms chief from Alberta, Canada came through, and I was like, I've been thinking about this. We want to get this up in Canada. So I got a call from them. So Canada's back in the ball field right now.
Wow.
So that'll be good.
Silly. I was going to say silly question, but you do got patent protections, right?
Yeah. We got patent received here in Canada.
Farming it out could be dangerous if you don't. So yeah.
No, you gotta go with the attorneys. Yeah, we gotta pay some Williams on that. So some big bill. So yeah. But
What I miss, guys?
what?
What'd you miss? Should we start over?
Yeah, I mean, I'm here now. You guys can start. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So
now we can go live. Now we can go live.
yeah. I can't believe you've been killing time for 43 minutes. But TJ's here, so let's get that introduction. Oh, look at that. Clover's like, TJ's here. Screw this. I'm out of here.
How's kickball?
It was good. I murdered some people.
He didn't blow out his Achilles tonight, so that's a positive thing.
No, it was. I had a good game. My feet are all better now. I'm good.
No, stop.
I had a 51.
I had a good game. It's a fucking kickball, bro. A 9-year-old can have a good game in kickball.
No, they can't. There were several 20-year-olds that did not have a good game after I murdered them running the bases.
Not against TJ, they don't.
You need to go shoot something quickly to regain your man card. That's all I'm saying.
Wait, was it kickball with a drink?
Oh yeah,
now, that would be
and a
okay.
cigar.
All right, I'm cool.
It's adult kickball. We can drink and I can smoke a cigar. So it's fantastic.
I'll tell you these are high level athletes we're talking about here. High level on the verge of Olympic stardom right here.
Yeah.
Listen, I think I could have been on the Olympic handball team. I watched those guys.
Handball's pretty fun to watch, though. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty fun to watch.
That's where I'm at level wise.
Well, there's a new Olympic game, and I hate to take us completely off the rails.
It's all right.
But we go everywhere on this show. But there was some new sport. I don't remember what it was called, but it looked kind of like water polo on land. Does anyone know what that's
Handball.
about? What is it?
Handball.
Handball.
No, it wasn't handball. It was
Handball.
something else.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Handball's like on a
What?
basketball court almost, and you
It's a
can't. You have,
basketball
to shoot
court.
you have to jump from behind a certain line, and it's
Right.
awesome. That's handball.
I was born for that.
Handball's not handball's not the handball that we grew up with. Handball. It's not the same thing. When I heard handball was a sport in the Olympics, I was like, "What?" And then I watched it, and I was like, "Oh, this isn't your grandpa's handball here. This is a whole
Listen,
new
you grew up
ballgame."
on a different handball than we grew up on. We didn't play handball.
Oh, Clover trying to recover from, bold-faced just slapping TJ with, "Oh, he's here, I'm out." Had to bounce. What he left out is because TJ's here. Great conversation, cool product. Yeah, and throwing the dig in, every time we go to a SHOT Show and you hear people say it over, innovation's dead, there's nothing here. And then, sure enough, if you walk around, if you walk past the Glock booth, all right, if you go there and Brown knows with them the whole time, then you're not going to see any innovation. It's the same shit every year. It's black, it's rectangular.
You got to go to the dungeon because that's where the good stuff is.
Or in this case, a cross.
Or a cross.
What did you think about being on the other side? I mean, you said you'd been to SHOT before, right? So you had seen the prior layout, and now you were in the new area on the across the bridge fence. So what did you think about being over there?
Yeah, that was kind of. I've never had a booth before there, but I've always been there, kind of walking around either as a buyer or trainer or working with the bulletproof holster stuff. It was hard to tell because it was so spread out because it had the two buildings, the Venetian and the Caesars, and then a lot of people didn't show up. A lot of big players didn't show up.
Yeah.
So I was kind of worried how that was going to work, but I think it actually worked out in the new product center's favor because people weren't wasting an hour at SIG or Surefire or whatever else. So they had to go, like you guys said, go to the dungeon or go check out new stuff. And I don't know if it was because our product was getting a lot of word of mouth, but we were pretty much busy the whole time. Like the first day, it was kind of weird because my one of my buddies I used to train with, he came in and he's like, "Dude, it feels like Friday at 2:00 but it was so spread out, so you really couldn't tell. Did you not have the crowd? I mean, yeah, numbers were down, but was it?
You also remember they actually forgot to unlock the bridge to get to Caesars Tuesday morning until like 10:30. It was locked, like no one could get over to Caesars.
Oh, really?
And they forgot. Yeah, it was like 10:30. They had it blocked off where you couldn't get across. Like, oh, we didn't open this up, and like everyone over there's going like, where is everybody? Well, they were locked on the other side. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if they're going to keep it the same way next year, but. And the new product center was kind of dead. I don't know if you guys went and looked at all the displays and everything. Like they stuck me. They're like, I'm like, yeah, I'm supposed to have a place in a shelf or whatever, like room for like one rifle. And they're like, well, we had you down for 18 inches on the table. I'm like, I don't think that's going to work. So they like stuck me in a case that was like all the way on the end. I had a whole case to myself. It was all the way on the end because they're just trying to fill up cases. So I guess the numbers were down from what they were supposed to have. But for me, it was a great show. I don't know how everybody else liked it, or I got to only run around like maybe a half a day total.
Best SHOT show ever.
Yeah, it was the best SHOT show ever.
Clearly best SHOT show ever. This was.
I think it was great because I didn't get my ankles broken by those guys with the milk crate carts.
Yes.
RSR group.
Let's talk about that.
Then I had to find trash cans to throw my trash in, so it sucked.
Yeah. So I got busted. I don't think you were with me at that time, but I saw a cart and I finished my water. Like I saw it, I'm like, crap, I got to finish this real quick. And I finished my water, and unfortunately, just out of habit, I kind of crushed it and when it crinkled when I crushed it, I start to toss it in the guy's cart because that's what I do with the RSR carts. Either that or kick them, one of the two. But those bastards dragging those things around like I'm 6'4". That shit's down at my ankles. I have no patience for that. So I'm about to toss it in, and he looks at me like, "What the hell are you doing?" And I'm embarrassed to say that I just kind of played it off. Oh yeah, no, I wasn't going to throw it. You know, I should have just tossed it in there. So get that shit out of here. But I didn't. I don't know why.
I am not 6'4", so that stuff is like waist level for me. Those parts are.
Yeah, I know.
You still hit your ankles,
Crazy,
though.
like, whoa, going by. All right, I'm good.
Yeah, God, I hate those things.
Yeah.
No, I thought it was.
Giveaways?
What's that?
Were there any good giveaways at the show? I didn't get to go to the floor and get like the little trinkets and stuff like that.
There is a pretty good swag. Yeah, a lot of pretty good swag. SAR USA had, I think, that was the star of the show. They had these big red, like, shoulder bags, and everyone had them. I mean, they were
I got some more
everywhere.
Condor bags though.
They were much better than Condor bags.
Those Condor bag. I don't know. I've had that Condor bag for years.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, I mean,
the last
this is
show.
like so much bigger. You can put so much more stuff in it, and
Oh
So
yeah,
much
yeah. I
more room for
remember seeing
activities.
yeah, everyone had those. So yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff, a lot of hats, a lot of shirts. I was a little disappointed in like PSA. There were several companies that were vocally upset about losing all of their money on the 2020, the SHOT Show 2021 patches and hats, but yet they didn't bring them. I was like, that would have been a perfect bring them to 2022, give them away. Like people would love it. I was instead of just eating it, just give them away. I don't know.
Yeah, I was kind of upset I didn't get to go get all the stickers and swag, but we made it to a cool party, so that made up for it. They had a whole bunch of cool swag. So
there you go.
That was kind of good. But Gerber usually has out good stuff. I didn't get to the Gerber booth.
Oh yeah.
Oh, all right.
I was in charge of running the beer for everybody. That was my job.
And you did a wonderful job.
Yeah,
I do.
We had our daily updates. Beer 4:30, booth so and so, 4:45, so and so, 5 o'clock. So like, okay, let's just go.
if you want in on that text group for next year, you have to reach out to TJ and let him know.
I got you. I'll hook you up.
And then you'll get the text every time he finds beer.
Now I have a question for you guys.
Yes.
No,
I'm thinking about doing the NRA show. I'm on the fence. I'm thinking about doing the NRA show.
Uh-huh.
So I'm on the fence about going to it. Worth going to? Yeah, being a booth. All right.
Yeah. Here's the thing about the difference. You talk to media people, they're like, it's good. But you have to deal with the general public that doesn't care that you're trying to do a video, that will just walk up and grab the item that you're videoing and reviewing without caring that you have a camera rolling. From the manufacturer and the the vendor side, they like NRA more than SHOT because the actual public, the end user, the consumer is there. So you're actually having direct contact with the consumer, not with media or buyers or distributors or whatever. John Smith is right there. Then you can have that conversation with John Smith and say, this is what you need in Sacramento. And he can touch it and all of that stuff. So a lot of vendors that I talk to prefer NRA over SHOT, but that's just what I hear.
Right.
So my take on this is people need to put hands on your product to understand it. So anytime you can get it in front of people who can put their hands on it, like if they're going to have rules that they don't let you cycle the action or anything, I think you're going to have a hard time educating people because that's really your goal, right? I mean, to me, that would be your goal. So if they will if they make you zip tie things so you can't cycle to action, you're gonna have a hard time with that education. You may have to have some videos rolling showing close up all of the different actions you take, to hit the bad lever, to pull the trigger, all the things that you would do. If they're gonna let you do that, then I think you're gonna have an easier time.
What are you doing?
Making the light bulb come on, Did we kind of get rid of TJ?
Well, hopefully I can sell enough T-shirts there. It'll make it possible.
Oh,
Yeah.
you'll see some t-shirts. I promise you that.
I bet you will. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you'll
here's
see.
an interesting question. When you're talking about not ARs and magazine capacities, has anyone thought about doing something like a belt fed where there's no magazine?
Yeah.
Like a belt-fed AR?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Flight light.
Well, it'd still be semi-automatic though.
Semi-automatic, yeah.
But you could combine them, right? I mean,
Oh
there's
yeah.
no-
If it fits on an AR lower, it'll fit on mine. So yeah, I mean, you can throw a belt fed on there.
yeah. So yeah, like you said, fight light, and I don't know if the one that Slide Fire had would work. Probably. I mean, was that a fight
Probably,
light one?
right? If it fits on an AR platform, it should
Who
work.
made that? Yeah, that could be interesting. I've thought about that before as well.
Which one was that, Jeff?
You remember Slide Fire back before the NRA capitulated and throwing the bump stocks under the bus?
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
that.
I'm still bitter about that. Still bitter, and I expect to remain bitter about that until it gets changed.
Good luck.
Yeah. All right.
You're always
so
something.
All right. Let's while we have a little bit of a lull, let's shift gears and hit the regularly scheduled portion of the program. So again, if you have questions, thoughts, comments, get them in the queue. For now, we're going to talk about recently published reviews.
Woo!
Yeah. Recently published review, I think we should say at this point, because we actually have a few in the queue that I haven't gotten finished editing yet. But AJ kicked in one on, so this is in our off-road, mainly the off-road driving, four-wheel drive Humvee type section of Gear Report. We have soft shackles that you would use instead of other, like the U shackles with the big bolt that goes in, the steel shackles. When hooking up, mainly I think they're intended for hooking up winch cables to whatever the fixed object is that you're going to pull against to get yourself unstuck. So I've got a bunch of these as well. AJ and I both have, military Humvees, and we've both got kits from Bubba Rope to review. And it's really some interesting stuff that could be used outside of the vehicle recovery area as well. I know that the last time I used mine was pulling down trees in my backyard. So you can use them for a variety of things. Please go check that review out if you have any questions or interest in learning what soft shackles are, how to use them, and what AJ thought about them. Although I will give you a spoiler, he gave it 4 out of 5 gears, which I'm going to go ahead and click this. Gears rating explained. This is something I think we're going to start adding to all of our articles where we give the gears rating. I think we need to go ahead and start putting a link in to this page that explains what the gears mean. So 4 gears means it stands out as a top option in the product class and price point. I know some brands probably get upset, like, where's my 5 gears? I want a perfect 5. There's probably never going to be a perfect 5. I'll just be honest.
Jeff will not allow a perfect 5.
I've had this is the most I clicked the wrong thing.
Whoa, what was that, dude?
I know.
What's going on?
You went down the
Whoa!
Went into the matrix. I'm going to pull this up. I don't even like that picture on the last one. I've already shared links to Instagram and Facebook for Fox Unit, by the way. So I'm just going to leave this one up for now while we're talking. But, so I said, and then I clicked on something else.
Picture and a picture and a picture.
Well, he's only got 43 tabs, so he doesn't know what to do with himself.
I only have tabs for the show today because Fun fact, I had a dedicated broadcast computer now. And this was, I don't have the manual with me, and it's behind the monitor, so I can't see it and tell you what brand it is. But this was sent by a company through the Amazon Vine review program, a little fanless computer. There is that screen that is mystifying again. There we go. So anyhow, this little PC is actually working okay, running things. So we had the potential for some real technical challenges today, but it seems to be running pretty well with my bougie Stella microphone and everything. So maybe next week, I'll tell you what I'm thinking about next week is hooking the Nikon camera up to see if we can get a little bit better video feed on me.
Well, at my end, your mic sounds a little tinny.
Yeah, it sounds like the gain's way too high.
Oh, okay, good. And I just got a text about that. So I will, while we're talking about that, let me see if I can get to the mic settings. And I'm going to push it away for now.
I wasn't going to say anything, but I have no idea how to fix it. So,
and I know what it is. Because
it's better now being pushed away, but it's still a little holy cow in your ear. But it's all good.
Well, y'all don't be shy. Tell me that stuff sooner. I'll turn the input down a little bit there.
There you go. That's the Jeff we know and love.
Is it that's better now?
That's your smooth voice right there.
Yep.
That's okay.
You had to say like, "Hey, ladies."
Oh yeah.
Listen, if I do that, who knows? Things could get out of control, and I don't want to be held responsible for any of that.
I'll take responsibility for that one.
Yeah, I'm still not going to do it. I'm feeling self-conscious now. All right, so go check out Fox Unit. I completely lost where I was train of thought wise, but I appreciate y'all. Don't hesitate when we have any kind of technical issue like that. Speak up. The sooner we fix it, the better it is. So
push it back again where it was. Like push the microphone back a little bit still.
Push it.
Oh, well, I turned the input down too, but
no.
Which one was it? Was it that one or this one of these two? Or that? Why would you do that? I'm turning those down.
You're getting worse.
I'm turning those down.
That's right there. Don't move it. Good. Yeah, that's better. That's better.
All right.
We hear you just fine.
Good. Yeah, so I've got this running through the little Tascam digital audio recorder. It's the I can't read what model it is. I don't remember. But anyhow, I've got it going through that and then into the new little fanless PC. And I've got the little webcam. I actually have a full monitor instead of a laptop sitting here now. Which means, this is exciting. This means, all right, let me get back to the screen.
There we go.
Stop sharing. There we go. Which means now that I'm not using the Vortex Razor HD Gen 3 LVPO to hold my laptop up for the show, I can actually mount this on a rifle. So that'll be awesome. I mean, everyone needs a $2,000 rifle stand, right? But
yeah.
But I think that will do better on a gun. And actually, what I was planning on putting it on hadn't arrived yet, so we'll have to see when that gets here. But let's go to share again, and instead of sharing the whole screen, all right, we'll go to screen and we'll do a Chrome tab, and I'll show you something that's coming.
You like how he gives everybody the play-by-play.
I have to, because otherwise you're just like, why is he not saying anything? You know? So now upcoming reviews, something that, and this is also a warning for Alan. There should be a.
By the way, Alan, that's coming to your shop.
Yeah. This should be arriving pretty soon. That's a little 22 can. So.
And I don't have any gifts for you.
Just you being here is a gift enough.
Oh, thank you.
As far as you know.
It's getting deep,
upcoming
boys. It's
reviews.
getting deep.
Yeah, I know. So what else do we have in the upcoming review queue? Let's make the rounds real quick. And Trey, you have anything you're going to publish with us?
Probably this weekend. I should say I'll turn it in for edit this weekend. Got the Wilder Tactical Urban Elite Kit, the Battle Belt, and
Nice.
probably the best battle belt I've ever used, and it's amazing. But I'm doing a review on it. I'm almost done with. I got a couple other like some Savior equipment bags, but the big one's going to be the Wilder Tactical Battle Belt. I'm almost done with that, so I'll have that probably to you this week sometime.
And interesting you mentioned them because two things happened this week. Peter sent me a note, said, "Hey, do you want to review anything?" And I am
Peter's
so
awesome.
torn.
Yeah.
I am so torn because I have a battle belt and I never use it. So I don't want to. I think I need to find someone that wants to review one. But they do have Wilder Tactical has a med kit with a tourniquet holder on the bottom. That it's funny how his hair flops around when he takes that off. I feel like there should be a joke there somewhere. But I want one of those to put. I've got a Molly panel on the back of both of the seats in the Humvee, and both the front seats, and I want to put one of those med kit bags.
That right there.
That one right there. Yeah, I want to put one of those. All right, how do I make his screen bigger on here?
I have no power in this anymore, Jeff.
I know, and I can't find it. There it
just
is.
the fact
Hold
that
on.
you're saying me and bigger.
That one.
They don't slide usually, but there you go.
There you go.
There it is.
That one.
Jump pouch, first aid kit with tourniquet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Knife, holster. I stack my pistol mags on top of my rifle mags to save real estate for other things.
Mm-hmm.
But it comes with this whole kit. Comes with the hanger's probably the most important thing ever, right there.
I wonder
For
about
the
that.
D-ring. This kit comes with everything you see. It actually has 3 belts. It has the inner belt, the neoprene padding, and the actual war belt. 2 rifle mags, 2 pistol mags, dump pouch, first aid kit with tourniquet. Now, obviously, the gun, the holster are not, but it does come with the actual Safariland QLS.
Yeah. So Caleb was telling me that
It comes with the
he
QLS
received his
hookup
today.
already.
Caleb
What's that?
received his today, and he said he had to reach out to blanking on his name at Safariland.
Man, there's so many.
Yeah.
I used to use. I've used like
Jake,
3 or 4
that's who it was.
because there's so many people that come and go with Safariland.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pricey. Let's not joke around about that. But it's amazing. It really is. It's really amazing.
So he said that it's the coolest complete battle belt setup he's ever seen.
Hands down.
And I'm going to get together with him. We're going to shoot a video because Caleb doesn't do video yet. He wants to do video, so we'll get together somewhere in North Carolina and do video. And I want to put it beside my high-speed gear battle belt and get a comparison because I understand there's some kind of shared lineage there between the companies.
You'll notice some features are right there.
Strikingly similar.
And high-speed gear is really, really good.
Yeah.
What I like about this is you buy the kit and it comes and all you got to figure out is literally where do I want to put everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a personal preference, I mean, it comes in a big old bag and it's great. It's awesome. Yeah. I like gear though. I like kit stuff, and a lot of people may not, so it may not interest them. I like that kind of stuff,
Yeah. So we'll look forward to that, and then Caleb's going to have a review. I don't know how he configured his, but his showed up today, so we'll see that review. It's going to take him a while.
Have him call me. Have him call me if he needs help because it's kind of figuring some stuff out can be iffy.
Sure. And the video you did with Ron, was it on configuring this type of the Wilder belt, or was that something else?
The one I did with Ron was he used his belt, but his was more of the grip and the sling and some mechanics and all that.
Gotcha.
The video that I did was just how I set my belt up, and the premise of it was is too many people run too much shit on their belt. You know, they're not going to Mogadishu. They need something they can train with on a flat range, something you can put on for home defense or something like that. You want to have stuff, but so many people have so many things on their battle belt that they'll never need. And so that was my video, is how I set mine up for more of a training, range, home defense kind of a setup.
Sure.
That's what my video went on. But yeah.
Well, and so the thing that I noticed when I went to the Wilder website is that they don't have plate carriers. And I'm thinking for someone like Vince who lives in Chicago, like you probably need an armored car, not just plate carriers, but it'd be good at least if you had access to the plate carriers there.
True. There's a big market. I'm looking to become a distributor, so.
Nice. Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
Wilder actually did have some carriers at the gathering. I don't know if that's something they're not made public. They had some on the table, so I don't know if that's a little hint and preview of what's coming.
Yeah.
Well, they saw them at the Costco.
I'll ask Peter about that.
What's that?
They saw them at the Costco here.
Probably they need to. They need to give them out. Hey, thanks for coming. Have a plate carrier.
Buy one, get one free.
Welcome to Chicago. Is that the plate carrier? Yeah.
They have them at the Welcome Center when you drive in.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they had made them illegal, though. I mean, that seems like the way they work, right? Is set everything up.
It depends on
it as dangerous as possible. Yeah.
Well, they could rent them out at the airport.
Hey, I play paintball. This is a paintball thing. It's not,
Yeah.
I don't want to get bruised.
Hey, paintball hurts, bro.
Yeah,
especially when you gotta have guys that freeze them overnight and then decide to get you. That's not fun.
You can't freeze them all the way. You can only freeze them part of the way because they wobble.
I don't know. All I know is it hurt.
I'm just saying. I've heard of people doing that.
Right.
I think 39 degrees is recommended.
So we went to combat.
Can't all the way because the paint, all the sediment settles on one side, and you eat curveballs the whole time. So, but if you freeze them part of the way,
we didn't know. We went to Combat Town at Pendleton. This is back in like '96 or whatever, and we knew we were going to go through some mount stuff, some CQB stuff, and they said all the instructors over there, they're going to be running the against you and all that. We're like, okay. So we were running paintball. We're like, okay, cool. But this time they wouldn't let us wear any sweatshirts underneath our camis. They wouldn't let us do that. We found out why, because those guys had frozen those and those things. We had welts everywhere for like 3 days. Little bit. Yeah.
I would play. We had in Carolina. We had a woods like across the street, and we would play paintball over there, like in the winter. And I'd be shorts and t-shirt because it was just too hot. You running around like a maniac. I was like, that's too sweaty. Okay. A little bruise here or there, like whack. Oh, that hurt.
Some guns aren't fun either.
Yeah.
Some rounds will hurt just as much as those frozen paintballs.
I guarantee you.
Well, I'm sure there's some psychiatrists that could make a fortune off of the guys spending the time freezing those things to try and inflict pain.
They haven't been Marines before, apparently. All it was is Marines have demented minds, bro. I'm just going to lay it out there. Like anytime we get a chance to mess with our own, we do.
You're definitely going to call out you got hit. That's for sure. You don't want a second.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I'm out.
You have to look at it this way, too, is even if they wobble when they come out, given how many rounds they're putting down range, you're going to hit something eventually, even if it does have a curve.
But here's if there's no paint on me, I'm still playing. I could have got hit 15, 20 times. If there's no paint on me, I'm still good. If you get hit, yeah, I'm good. You have like 70 welts on you.
You get hit, you can kind of cover it up. You can kind of cover it up, And
I would even, No, if there was paint on me, I would quit. But yeah, if you're freezing it, whack, 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 like, all right, whatever.
Okay, so We're at about an hour and 15 minutes, and I would like to take the opportunity. I just shared in the comments the link to Fox Unit non-semi-automatic on the YouTubes. So if you want to go see the functional videos, I think if you were paying attention on, I think it was the Instagram page, there were a couple of pictures of the making of what I believe to be the middle video here in a range of showing how everything works. So if you have any questions about that, go check them out there. Give them a subscription. There's 3 videos. I'm expecting 3 likes to show up there for each one of you. All right. And while you're at it, it wouldn't be the end of the world if you were to throw a like at us on whatever platform you're watching this. So
Yeah, we appreciate
we
it.
do appreciate all of those likes because we have fragile egos, and that's what keeps us
Yes.
going.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
That
that's
and
what keeps us
caffeine
going.
and booze.
I cry in the mirror every day.
Yeah. All right.
I'll like it.
All right. There we go.
Oh, you have to use your
little
little soundtrack, didn't you, Jeff?
I gotta turn that off. I
That is
think that's a
annoying.
bad idea.
Turn that crap off. Come on now.
Yeah. I mean, they make those tools available for someone with the assumption they're mature enough to use them in a responsible manner. I don't know if that's really the case here.
Well, that was a mistake on their part in making that assumption.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Okay, so what else? I want to share one other thing here. Let's go ahead and put the banner up for generally the most popular portion of the show.
Woo!
We're chit shooting, and I want to show you guys. I'm actually. Oh, you know what, TJ? I'm going to debut something that I teased when we were talking on the phone earlier.
I don't
Family
know
friendly, Jeff. Family friendly show here.
Well, it's my channel. I do what I want.
You're right.
And I actually moved it off of the desk here where I do the show from. I have this little laser cutter, engraver that I had in here Monday. So it showed up, I think it was Saturday while I was out of town, while I was out sailing, out on the ocean on the yacht. That's what I meant. And
please tell me you're listening to Christopher Cross while you're doing that.
I was singing it. I wasn't actually listening to it. No one was, because, if you've heard me sing, you know that I kind of drowned everything out.
The important thing is the Gear Report logo on the sides.
So here, let me show you here. This is it working? Yes. Yeah. All right. So that's what it is. This was another item through the wonderful Amazon Vine program, where they sent it for me to play with and review, and I'm having a blast with it. I already made for the guy who owned the boat that I took my scouts out on this weekend. I made him some coasters for his boat that had the boat name on it and everything, and they look similar to. Let me see if I can get. Let me get back to the camera thing here. In the screen share, and I'm gonna take the screen over for a second.
Whoa!
I know, it's scaring me too. So this is like the way that I did it, where it's kind of burned in, and
Nice.
I've been playing mainly with wood because that's the cheap, easy thing to play with. I made one for Randall.
Way too easy, Jeff.
What's that?
He said you're playing with wood. You should make it way too easy for us.
Like anyone doubts that anyway. I mean, dude, I'm almost 50. I don't care what people think anymore. Not that I ever really cared much to begin with, but
Right.
Let's see. I do care enough to hide my phone number and email address. Playing with different stuff here, so
There
we
you
may
go.
have some. We may
If
have some.
I get my metal business cards now, say Director of Snacks and Beverages.
Is that like your logo would be a hot dog and a Slim Jim?
Potentially. I haven't made that one yet. This one's made out of wood.
I
So
like
if I
that.
want
That's
to give,
pretty sweet.
if I want to give my wood to someone, I could just give them one of these, right?
Stop.
And then
Same effect.
All right. Here's the world debut.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, snap.
Right there. Snacks and beverages. That's what I'm talking
There we
about.
go. Yep. I keep turning it the wrong direction. All right, there we go.
That's
Yep.
There
good.
we go.
And it is 3D laser cut. There's texture to all of this.
People are going to feel my wood, aren't they?
Well, they probably will. I bet they'll want to rub on it to,
I bet they will.
to feel the texture and everything.
I'm just going to keep my mouth shut right now.
Does the wood come with a covering to protect it from moisture?
A little wax, I guess.
Listen, Trey. I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
Y'all are embarrassing me. Oh my God.
All right.
I'm trying to stay semi-clean because he can nuke us at any moment.
So, whose Marine Corps were you in after that little outburst? Sir?
I was a Clinton Marine, sir.
Yeah, well, you got to keep in mind, Marine Corps is part of the Navy, so it's kind of expected.
Says the fly boy over there. Chair force, baby. Chair force.
Yep.
He's like, yep, and
Yeah. It is whatever a person who
best
couldn't
food
pass
ever.
the entry exam says. So, anyhow, that got a little meaner than I intended. Oh, who am I kidding? I intended every bit of that.
he intended every bit of that.
Yeah. Anyhow, so I think that we've covered the bulk of what we need to cover in the show. I want to circle back if anyone has any more questions, comments, thoughts, anything for Vince while he's here. Let's toss those at him, preferably one at a time, and then we can wrap things up for this evening. So, and then Vince, obviously, if there are any closing remarks that you wanted to make, anything that looking back, like, wow, I wish I'd have said that differently. Now's your chance.
I've got an interesting question.
How long do we have?
Yeah.
Until we're done, I guess.
The question is, the little switch that you're hitting. Being a lefty.
Wrong-handed. That's what you meant.
No.
Wrong-handed.
Those of us that are left-handed know how to do it right. Okay.
All 5 of you.
And of course, we're talking to one of the guys that Jose Juan and I are both looking at a bullpup shotgun going, all right, this is something we really want to try. And then we realize it's blasting out across our face. So it would not be the good thing for us to play with. No, but the question is, in terms of like your reset switch.
Yeah.
Is there something, or have you considered doing anything where the switch might be inside the trigger guard? So pull the trigger, pop your finger forward kind of thing?
So, yeah, the lefties are always an issue. You guys are always a problem.
They are always an issue.
But I have 2 designs. Well, 3.
That's how it's going to be.
So you have the regular paddle. I have you've seen the ambi, like I think it's a PDQ that comes out the other side, and then have like a piece that comes around, kind of like the bad lever that would come around for a lefty then. And then also, I mean, you can have the regular hip there, but I'm trying to get something that comes off almost like a regular bad lever that you strike with your thumb then for a lefty to shoot. Or we just round you guys up and whatever. So
That sounds like a pretty reasonable plan.
I'm for plan B. I'm for plan B.
So no, there are some plans for the lefties. It's just a little more design feature, and to get the product out, we just had it for the righties. I built one for the lefties, but I need better materials. So,
but let's be honest, the lefties, they can't shoot well anyway. So
yeah.
Okay.
So let's say someone has made it this far into the video.
Ooh, I'm sorry. You're not getting your time back.
When are they going to tell me how I can get one?
As soon as we get the manufacturer nailed down, or like I said, we're working with a couple. Now the first, we had one that went off and just raised the prices astronomically. Like I said, all the when the market went crazy, it's like all these manufacturers are like, okay, you'll pay us $100 for, normally it was 35, 30, 40 for a lower. They were just cranking out whatever and charging whatever. And now it's like, well, the demand slowed down and these manufacturers are just like, well, we still want these prices. Why aren't we getting them? So they're starting to come down. And then the one person we had run the first batch of stuff for us, the quality wasn't there. There's a couple of things that need to be precise. And I don't want to make anything that's not quality. I mean, I want you to be able to trust your life to it. I don't want to just sell product. I'm here to deliver a weapon here. So something you should trust your life to. So hopefully we could get it out by Q2 was our goal. Now we're aiming for maybe end midsummer if we get this production wrapped up, because now we have to go through making the new product, make sure the machines are tuned. That's going to take a month or two, and then get it out to the distributors. And then we're still waiting for a couple other things to come in from the legal side to get everything going out. So hopefully we'll have some updates on our website coming up in the next month. So if everybody wants to keep checking, I'll update you guys too. So that's the next thing. And there's a glitch on there. You can't buy it on the website. I got to talk to my web developer. There's a thing people can't pay for it. So nothing to pay for on the website. And hopefully we'll have t-shirts and stuff up there. What?
I said, in that case, send it for free.
Send it for free? Sure. If I could, I would. Trust me.
Especially since you guys are making fun of us left-handed people.
Well,
I would need practice time to learn how to shoot right-handed.
It's not making fun of you. It's just speaking the truth. It happens to be funny. It happens to be funny.
There you go.
You're number one, Alan.
Yes, you're number one, Trey. Sorry, I couldn't resist that.
I'll tell you what,
you're the one that said that. Since
I'll bring our first left-handed sample by you. I'll let you try it. So
looking forward to it.
Now, do you have to use special left-handed ammo for that?
We actually have the barrel rotates the other way.
Oh, wow. Love it. Love it.
Or there's the Marine Corps version that has 5 barrels, figuring they're bound to hit something.
Hey, spray and pray, baby. Spray and pray.
Yep. Quantity over quality.
This is America. That works.
So if I want a shirt, I can't get the gun right now. Can't get the lower. If I wanted a shirt, can I order a shirt somewhere?
We're working with a new guy to make our shirts. We had a guy here in Chicago doing them, but I need somebody that can do the mail and order and stuff like that. So I'm working with somebody actually for the NRA show to have it all ready for that.
Awesome.
When I get that done, I'll send you guys some shirts. Yeah, everybody's like, love the swag, like the shirts, the hats, and the bottles and all that stuff. So.
Well, you know, getting something like this up and running sounds really expensive. And having something to generate a little revenue and get some cash flow and get the name out there, I would think would be useful.
Yeah, so I'm hoping,
especially with the logo, it's fantastic.
Yeah,
thank you.
Best logo out there. Yep.
Yeah, awesome.
Well, it was funny. Nobody wanted to hear. Like you guys walk by, you're like, yeah, something non-semi-automatic. We don't want to hear it. So like, I'm trying to like get people to stop by the booth. So finally, I was just like, how do you want to, like, how'd you like to find out about the biggest FU in the gun industry this year? And people are like, oh, I don't want to stop for that. They don't want to hear semi-automatic.
Dude, I'm just thinking of the possibilities of patches and T-shirts I could have with that logo.
I got a patch.
Oh, endless. Great.
A few ways to go. For the NRA, though, we got to tame it down. I got to put a different logo on there for the NRA shooters thing for the little kids. So got to come up with
it. Yeah.
Well, you could put 2AFU or something, but you know.
You can see some of the patches we're working on to give the ATF next year. They're wonderful.
So excited. So excited.
You stop and give them a hug first, right?
Always, and then I'm going to give them a patch that says
popular
Waco.
People at SHOT Show next year.
We're going to give them. My patch is going to say Waco, Texas's largest barbecue.
Oh my goodness!
Mine is we'll shoot your cat too.
Yeah, you got to get some. You got to get some body armor for the battle pup before you do that.
But they're going to have the patches that everyone at SHOT Show will want to have. They may not like them, but they'll be popular.
Yep. Limited
Who's gonna have
edition,
them?
baby.
They might come and confiscate everything that I have the next week after.
Oh, be so,
Would it be worth
worth it?
Yeah.
Worth it.
So if you
Yeah,
check
but you'll have
the
your
comments-
battle belt on and can defend yourself.
Well played, sir. Well played.
We're Costco party.
We have a rule at Gear Report. You do whatever stupid stuff you want. Just make sure the camera's rolling.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Hold on, I gotta go live.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much, yeah.
So I would like to direct people to the comments section of this video where you will find all the different ways to keep up with Fox Unit. So we have foxunit.net, the website. Let me bring that up here. Boom, right there. We
There you
have
go.
the YouTube channel, we have the Instagram page, we have the Facebook page. There may be some other ways to find them. If you go to foxunit.net, you'll probably find them on there. Definitely pick whichever one you like, keep up with it to see when things are available, and toss some support their direction. Vince already said he's a one-man show. I'll say his direction. Toss some support Vince's direction, because it's hard bringing any product to market. I think it's harder when you're trying to do it as a one-man show. So keep up the good fight there, and I'm looking forward to seeing. Next time, I promise you, I'm not going to walk by on the range and be like, non-semi-auto, whatever. I really want to get hands on this, and for me, and I want to hear from the rest of you guys. For me, the half impulse is the part. The first time it really clicked with me, and I was like, hey, wait a second. I love anything that throws an FU at the ATF and anyone else who makes stupid rules, right? I love that. That should go without saying. That anyone who does that, I want to support you. But then when I heard some of these other use cases, I'm like, oh, that does make it really interesting. Because I don't shoot a lot of distance, but I'm kind of trending that direction. I want to do a little bit more distance shooting, and that half impulse sounds interesting to me. So I think if I understood correctly, Clover was the only one that had shot it, right? Or Ghost, did you get? You did. So
yeah.
All right. So
yeah, I like I said, for me, it was once you got used to the rhythm. And it wasn't that long. It didn't take like a whole magazine to get used. It was like a couple shots, but once you get used to that rhythm, it's just like, anything else. You can go as fast as you want or as smooth as you want. It literally just kind of, there's that one extra split second extra movement, but once you get used to it,
you could run it.
It's good. Yeah, it's easy.
I'll have to get down and or if you're going to go to NRA, maybe get there a day before and hit a range or something. I'll bring one down. You guys could try them out.
That'd be good.
Or
There's plenty of ranges down in Houston.
I think they have a range down there. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. One or two.
Let me know if you're going to bring the left-handed version with you.
I'll mock one up.
That's only in Chi-Town.
It's only Chi-Town. We only did
You
get
to Chicago for that.
So, yeah.
Well, my daughter's there, so
It's the world's largest outdoor shooting range, Chicago.
Right?
Well, actually, I would call it
Yeah,
indoor-outdoor
right
range.
Yeah. Well. Okay, let's make a lap around and parting comments. So anything that you didn't get in during the show that you'd like to, and then for Ghost, if you want to talk about anything you have coming on your channel, let's wrap that up so we can shut this down. So everyone, thanks for being here. Vince, you want to give us the summary here?
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me. It's been a blast. I didn't know what I was in for, but I had a great time, and that was fun. And yeah, I'm a one-man show, but I've had tons of help along the way. Like if you guys saw me out at SHOT Show or went to the booth, I had a bunch of guys just come out of nowhere. I was in over my head, and they just came out of nowhere and helped me. JD, Terry, Gene, Troy, Monster, a bunch of guys out there. So I got to thank them and people here at home help me with design work or just encourage me and get it going. So I've just been real thankful for it and thankful for you guys for having me on and encouraging the product and everything. So, but
Sure.
no, it's been great and hopefully it keeps going. So,
Yeah. And you
thanks for having me
mentioned the holster as well. Is that something that is available? Like if, do we want to show that to people real quick or point them towards it?
I'm going to have the website up. I have 2 patents on it. So basically it's a bulletproof holster. I'll send you some videos if you want to see it. I have the 2nd gen test models. I'm working on the 3rd, which is a more slimmed down one.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get through. Anybody who wants to take out Safari Land for their market, let me know. Because I think the village managers and stuff like that for police, I already talked to the Army. They'd like it, but they don't have a requirement for it yet. So I got to put in their system to get the requirement for having it so it can capture the rounds in the holster so you don't have man down on mission. But I think village managers are going to mandate it for their police officers and stuff like that to say, hey, we could mitigate the risk here of having a lawsuit or an officer down workman's comp. And it's only going to cost us $100 more a holster.
Yeah.
All right. You need a bulletproof holster, and that'll just mitigate that issue on the street.
There's an interesting way that my first thought didn't go, weirdly enough, didn't go military or law enforcement. It went to the person that's maybe new to concealed carry that may be nervous with carrying with one in the chamber. This might be something that helps them feel more safe to learn to carry with one in the chamber. I don't know.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Yeah, I mean, that's I'm a instructor, gunfighting instructor stuff. I don't do the concealed carry stuff, but some other stuff. And actually, one of our instructors carrying appendix, I carry appendix, and went in a brand new holster. And thank God we're at an instructor's class. Went off, something got caught in there, in, out, in. Boom, somebody clamped the leg, had a tourniquet on him. We had 3 meds there. And otherwise, if that would have happened at home or something,
wow,
would have known. I've had
that person won't make it in a minute if she's by herself.
Oh, they cut the femoral artery and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh no,
if
that didn't happen right there. Yeah, that was it.
Wow.
So I had the idea. I'm like, how come? I mean, I see all these things. I'm like, how come nobody's done this? How come nobody's done that? So it's like, all right, I'll make it. So I mean, this is something that'll save lives. I think it's a really good product and can be developed into something people can use. But yeah, concealed carry holders that want to carry one in the pipe or tons of uses for it. So no, I mean that's going to be a lifesaver. So
I think that people who are learning how to draw from the holster, this could be a benefit because they may screw up, right?
Oh, I mean, well, nobody wants to admit they're going to make a mistake. That's the number one thing. That's the problem with that product. Everybody's going, I'm never going to have well, it may not be your fault. It may be those strings with the little plastic clips that adjust your jacket. Those get caught in. We make people cut those off all the time when we do classes.
T-shirt getting stuck in the t-shirt in the holster. You never know.
Anything. The leather folds over, something like that. So it's like,
if you haven't had, there's only 2 types of people in this world: people that have had an ND, and those that are lying. So I mean.
So yeah, and that's the major thing with that product. But yeah, I've talked to a bunch of some of the holster manufacturers, and they're like, well, it's kind of new, and they're not so sure they want to do it. But I think if we could push it out there and get a little bit of demand for it, I want to I'm talking to somebody at the Chicago Police Force who's an instructor who will get a letter from the Chicago Police Department saying, hey, we would like these. Now I could go to a manufacturer and say, here's demand from one of the largest police departments saying they want it. Do you want to make this? And I think once it's out there, it'll take off. So
let me know when they come out. I want one. I'll be the first one in line. I'm ready for one. I think it'd be really cool.
I'll let you be the guy that you wanted to be the one that tested and breaks them.
I can do that.
All right, we'll let you fire it off.
I'm nervous.
But not unless there's video running.
Oh, no, it's
Here you
got-
go.
Always video.
Alan pays attention. That's good.
Run it a pencil.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you being here, and this was kind of a short notice request to come on the show, so I do appreciate you being flexible and being able to come on. You were on our list to get to, and when we had this unexpected opening, it was great that you were able to hop in and get in a little early. So we do appreciate that.
That worked out perfect. Thanks for having me.
And don't judge us by this show because we're all very nice people. Hell, okay.
Somewhat.
Pretty much.
Somewhat.
So what do you have coming, Ghost? You have on the Ghost Tactical channel. You already talked about what you have coming on Gear Report. What do you have on your channel that's on the way?
Oh man, I got a torture test with a SAR AR pistol coming. Torture test with the Springfield Ronin 1911 coming. I think this weekend I've got a top 5. I haven't done a top 5 since last year, but this is going to be the top 5 MP5 clones that are available in the market. So you guys know I'm an MP5 junkie. That's cool. Yeah, watch the stuff. Can I take 2 minutes of your time again? Please, if you guys are out there, go check out my Instagram profile, and there's going to be a link. Okay, have you ever heard of the MARSOC 3? Cool. Friends of mine are part of the MARSOC 3. They were falsely accused and falsely charged with the death of a contractor in 2019. 3 years into this meth, they're still going through the court-martial process. It's ruined their careers. It's ruined their families. They're absolutely innocent. I'm asking you guys to help us out, help with their legal fees. It's an enormous amount. They have to hire civilian attorneys to get this stuff done because of the government. If you're interested and you're willing to, please help out the MARSOC 3 with their legal defenses. A link in my profile of Instagram, and you can donate $1, whatever you have. If you're willing to do it, and if the word Semper Fidelis means anything to you, we're asking to please help our brothers out. That's all I got. Thanks, Jeff, for letting me steal your show and ruin your Black Panther party.
Dude, I know better than to say no when a 7th degree white belt requests something.
And a tier 9 operator. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also put myself down as a fashion model. I have fun with my profiles. People laugh at those all the time.
All right.
Don't laugh at them at your face.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Purely when the camera's off.
Yes.
That's fair.
TJ, Alan, any parting words before we shut it down?
I mean, I would like to apologize for all the wood jokes and the wood innuendos that we had a little earlier. It was totally uncalled for. I mean, we know what good Jeff was talking about.
I think people expect that now.
I mean, I listen. I almost had to stop my camera. I was dying.
Who are you?
I got I'm finishing up a couple. I've got the CSR 556 from Wolfpack Armory, the BRG 9 Elite, and the ARX Delta Gen 2.
Nice.
All coming down the pipe.
Good.
And I stand by my left-handed rules.
Oh my!
I kick left-footed.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, Alan. If you want to say anything that doesn't involve wrong-handedness, I'll just warn you. I am hovering over the mute button. So.
You know what? In that case, I'll just mute myself.
Oh, don't do that.
Beautiful.
And he did actually.
He did.
Do you have anything for folks who haven't been to Quarter Horse Arms yet? Do you have any big sales going on? Anything that people should go check out?
Well, just starting to be able to get decent handguns back in. So,
yeah,
check them out.
Long guns are not a problem. Just been the handguns consistently.
I heard a rumor that you had some pretty cool consignment handguns.
I do. In fact, I got an offer on a gun of yours that we haven't reviewed yet.
Oh, snap.
How cool is it?
Yeah.
It's approaching $3,000 cool.
Oh.
But they want your autograph laser engraved on it.
And it comes with 2 magazines.
In wood.
That That could probably
In wood.
happen. As long as they don't need left-handed magazines, I think I'm good. I don't think I have any of those.
Look, I'm sorry, but the cool manufacturers actually make left-handed guns that don't cost any more than the right-handed guns.
Now you just sound bitter. I'm just saying.
I don't even know what happened to Alan there. It's.
I've been there. I've been there. I know what that feels like.
Absolutely bizarre.
On.
I don't even know. Oh, he found his way back. Man, I was so worried. I was so worried.
I'm like a bad penny. I keep turning up.
That's why I worry about not having power. He can nuke me at any time. I'd be like, damn it. I
Yeah.
went too far.
Wait, the director of snacks and beverages doesn't have his own hotkey?
Listen, I only pull like that much weight.
Yeah.
Not a lot
I
of
mean,
weight.
no, pulls lots of weight. He has his own business card here. We've already established that.
I do.
Quit
Yeah.
playing with
so
his
anyhow,
wood.
hey, by the way, anyone has ideas for cool stuff we should make with the laser engraver? Unfortunately,
How
I
about some
don't
beer
know that
coasters?
it's going to work on metal. I think this one is not
You got to
strong
do
enough for
these
metal.
stone ones.
Okay.
That
I'm
looks
sure we
rock
can
hard.
come up with some good jokes for those too. So
Yeah.
anything
I got it.
acrylic, paperboard, any kind of wood. Yeah, we can do all that.
He says any kind of wood. He's equal opportunity, folks.
Yeah.
I don't discriminate.
Yeah. I know it's weird to hear someone say that who wasn't affiliated with the Department of the Navy, but it happens occasionally.
Again, we apologize for the wood jokes.
Yeah. Yeah.
The comments on here tonight do not officially, actually, they do officially represent the thoughts of Gear Report. Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Funny how that
We
stuff
think
works.
we think hard about this stuff.
See, now I'm not even.
I can't even touch that statement.
Hey, quit pushing it. Quit pushing it.
Thanks again. If you've been here for an hour and 46 minutes,
We're sorry.
what the hell's wrong with you? But thank you. That's an hour and 46 minutes. You're never going to get back. Hopefully, it was worthwhile. I think that Vince, we appreciate the time that you were talking. At least there was value there. For everything else, we apologize.
Wow.
Vince is going to have nightmares about this last year. He's gonna be like, "What just happened?" Like that is like the Twilight Zone.
104 shows. You'd think we'd be better than this by now, but
You should have seen it as episode 1.
Better or
Nowhere to go but up.
we'll be back. If you made it this far, please come back next Thursday. We're here every Thursday at 9 until we get deplatformed, which I'm sure is coming. But until that happens, you can find us here. We're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. I didn't even know you could do Twitter. Oh my goodness. Has anyone else seen an uptick in really raunchy text messages, like from people you don't know? Or am I just the lucky one?
You're
I
just
don't know.
lucky one.
I get all kinds of neat
Yeah.
ones.
All right. So anyhow,
fine raunchy?
yeah. Maybe we were off the air. We're on Twitch. You can find us not live, but on replay. No, I think we're live on Odyssey as well. We're all over the place. So
Everywhere.
Pornhub,
Yeah.
Pornhub. Yeah.
everything, we're everywhere but there.
Just me.
Yeah. Maybe I
Oh,
did
sorry.
mention
Right.
I'm a scout leader, so I have to draw the line somewhere, right?
That's right.
And I think decency is probably where that line is. So, all right, get your fingers ready, people. This is something we do, Vince. When we leave, we point at the camera and we say, we'll see you at the range. So until next week, everyone be safe, have fun. And after we say whatever, but he's pointing, we'll just point. Until next week, we'll see you at the range.